everyone, today is March 29th, 2011, and here is a really disturbing video.
2 or 3 guys to every truck coming out, pulling basketball poles up, but only a specific 8 basketball poles. If you drive through the neighborhoods, it's not every basketball pole in the neighborhood that would be quote-unquote in violation. It's a specific 8.
Now you might be wondering why those dump trucks are carrying away people's basketball nets and poles. Well, it appears that the Delaware Department of Transportation is enforcing a really absurd law in Delaware, which basically states that I believe nothing can be within 7 feet of any curb. So that, I guess, would apply to basketball poles and nets even in a cul-de-sac. As you can see here, these parents are pretty upset that the government is going to steal their basketball pole and net from their cul-de-sac when there's no traffic around that area.
The pole has been here for 60 years. Why all of a sudden did it become a problem?
And it appears that they even filed a response to the warning that the basketball court might apply to the law.
Unfortunately, and I can understand your situation. Unfortunately, DelDOT has the right of way. They've sent out certified letters. I don't want to.
But we have responded back to those letters, myself
Right.
and my state representative, and we have not gotten responses to our responses to them.
Okay,
So
unfortunately-
we
okay.
felt this matter was still pending, and for them to come out here and ambush us at 8:15 in the morning and start stealing basketball poles is not right.
Here's what I'm going to tell you right now, though. Okay?
Can I have 2 hours to get my TRO filed?
No, you may not.
But without even responding to their response, the government just decided to go through the neighborhood and start ripping up people's basketball poles and carrying them away. Because that appears to be a really efficient use of their time. You know, they don't have anything better to do like actually putting together roads. They're going to drive through the neighborhood and start ripping up people's basketball poles. So the mother of these kids decided to actually sit on the basketball pole to prevent the pole from being carried away.
She saw the trucks coming, and they started pulling in down the street, and they started down at the bottom. So she said, I'm going up the pole. Get me a cup of coffee. So I watched, I got her a cup of coffee, she climbed up the car, sat up on the pole.
And this actually resulted in the police and the Department of Transportation having to come by with several workers to go rip up the pole. Here's a blonde woman who appears to be working for the Department of Transportation.
Why?
The car needs to be moved right now.
I'll move the car.
Listen, I do not want to arrest you or your wife, but that is where this has gone. The car needs to be moved.
She'll be up that pole again in 2 seconds.
She will not be up that pole again, okay?
Why?
We're not going to, because we're not going to allow her. It's disorderly conduct if anybody goes up the pole. I need the car moved right now.
As you can see here, she's very willing to arrest these people because they dare want to actually hold on to their basketball pole, which appears to be there for over 50 years. And it hasn't bothered anyone because keep in mind it's actually on a cul-de-sac, you can see from the photos. So now here comes the point where she actually lies to the family and says that they can keep the pole after they rip it out, and then I guess it can get reinstalled in a better location.
Am I still going to be allowed to keep my pole?
They advised earlier they're not taking the pole, they're putting them.
They've asked people if they want them, they'll lay it in your driveway.
Well, I would like my pole, yes, because
They let everybody keep it. You know.
that's not what I saw, and my neighbors didn't tell me that.
Well,
She's mad as
the
heck
law
that
is
hers
supposed to
gone.
take it, but they offered you the courtesy of letting you keep it.
And after she just lies to the family, watch them actually rip out the pole and actually drop it and then carry it away.
You can stand, you may stand here, you may not.
Please
Tom,
video. I'm sure you will. March Sadness. You hate kids. That's there goes 60 years of history, guys. No wonder this country's got a hell of a handbag. God, way to screw it up.
Ah yes, isn't this a great use of your tax dollars in Delaware? Your tax dollars pays that woman to have a job. And what is her job? Her job is to go through the neighborhood and actually rip up basketball poles. And threaten families with arrest if they object to their basketball poles being ripped up on a cul-de-sac that's not bothering anyone. And they get police officers involved.
That pole's staying, please.
Yeah, all of them are gone. We're taking all of them.
What? You just told me I can keep it. You lied.
I
You said we had the option of keeping the pole.
did not. You can come and pick it up. and
No,
go
you
in.
didn't say that. You said I can keep my pole.
Your chance right now. Go in the house. Oh, here comes the crazy. This is our house. We can stand out here.
And then illegally tell a family that they're not allowed to object verbally to what's going on their own property.
You cannot talk these people. I can talk
You
to
just
you.
lied to me,
You're not
officer.
talking. You can talk to me. That's
Roll the
fine.
tape back.
You know what?
You
think
just
it
told
makes
me we
sick.
could keep that thing,
You
and
make
now
me
you lied.
sick.
That's
You
a great
explained
use
my
of force and money
nine-year-old
power
while you
today.
took her only phone.
And I have the freedom to speak. It's the United States First Amendment rights to speak my will.
And it appears they didn't even allow any due process before their basketball pole was ripped out of their home. Folks, this is exactly what happens when you have stupid laws passed. People say, oh, what's the big deal? We're just passing a law in our community. Every time you pass a law, they have to have somebody actually come and enforce the law. And if you don't abide by the law, they either fine you, and if you refuse to fine, they attempt to throw you in jail, and that involves violence. Imagine if that guy decided that he didn't want to have them take the pole and he was going to actually put up a fight. He actually could have gotten physically injured from that police officer who likely would have pulled out his gun. And that would have been the means to enforce this law to rip out a basketball pole, even though the fact it's been there for 50 years. And I don't want to hear any crap that there might be kids in the street, they're going to be, a danger to traffic. It's on a cul-de-sac, it's not on a highway. And if you happen to live in a suburban neighborhood, chances are you're going to be having kids running through the street, and you drive a little more slowly on the street in a residential neighborhood. It might make sense not to have a basketball court leaning over a big highway, but this is a cul-de-sac or it's a residential neighborhood for those other basketball courts. But I really wonder, for all the people that watch this and go, this is clearly wrong and it's hurting the little guy, whether or not they would actually apply that reasoning to when it applies to other areas of society where people tell other people what to do that may not involve them. Because most people certainly could think of an instance where this could apply to them. But what about when it applies to other people? And you're asking the government to go force other people what to do, and to regulate other people, and to regulate their businesses, and to tell them how to live. That may never apply to you. This is what happens. And I have the link below, and if you watch the actual full video, you're going to be upset and angry at these government workers that have absolutely worthless jobs. I mean, think about what that blonde-haired woman did when she talked to her guidance counselor in high school. Hey, what do you want to be when you grow up? Oh, I want to go through the neighborhood and rip up people's basketball poles and then threaten them with jail time if they object to it. So the moral of the story is, stop passing stupid laws in your community. So rate this video, even hit it, put in your favorites if you enjoy it. Don't forget to subscribe, and I got all the links below. Today is March 29, 2011, and that's how the world works.